Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and it's Brick Call o'clock! Yeah! So this package is another one from Bricklink, and this is the first of a number of packages that I've made orders for recently that are to do my kind of latest wave of designs that include my water tender and carriages for my Flying Knotsman steam train. They also include parts for the supermarket build that I'm planning, and a few other things as well, as usual, and long-term projects like the fairground and the undersea setting and so on. It's quite hard to get into with my knife. Let's see if I can do that. And while I'm unwrapping this, I may as well remind you that if you want to send me anything for me to unwrap as part of my sort of centenary of brick hauls, brick haul 100, then do send anything you want, be it a letter or a minifigure or Lego bricks or a set or goodness knows what, to Robin Hood Bricks, PO Box 11048, Nottingham, NG8 9QS. And do remember, if you're not based in the UK, to mark that UK, and then for customs to mark it for a gift and with a value of under £30, including postage, because then it will fly through customs and the nasty men won't put a great big charge on it. So, here we go. Here is the set opened, and it is very nicely packed, so that's good. I'll just tip all of this out into a massive sort of brick avalanche. And you can see that it's a pretty big order. Let me just get rid of that box. Where to start? Right, I'm going to start here with what looks like a sticker sheet. And it is. And that's just a bit of cardboard to make it nice and stiff, so I'll throw that away as well. And this is a sticker sheet from a friend set, 41234, Bumble Bee Helicopter. In fact, it's not really a friend set, actually. It's more a DC superhero girl set, but that's roughly similar, in my mind at least. And I mainly got this for the little graffiti piece, because it's kind of a similar little sort of impish character that I've had graffitied already around my city. So I figure if there's a graffiti artist at large, that they'd probably do more than one bit around there. So I got it for that. If I can use these sort of honeycomb type stickers as well, then maybe I will, but I haven't really got a specific idea for those. And I really should stop buying these, but I can't help myself at the moment. These are the sort of cloak pieces for the Shark Army General #1 from the Lego Ninjago movie, and I'm going to use them under the sea, either as bits of coral, sort of plant, undersea plant, sort of wafting in the currents, or maybe even little fins for sort of brick-built fish. I haven't really decided yet. I'm going to be experimenting with those, and I think I've definitely got enough to experiment with now, so I don't think I really need to get any more. So sometimes it's just tempting to buy more because you see them very keenly priced. But anyway, so that's those. Right, where to start with the rest of this mountain? Here's some big bricks, so we can make some quick progress with these. As usual, I've bought some big arches to help support my fairground area, and these bricks that I find very useful. They're usually very cheap because they're not very desirable. So they're just for support. Got a couple more of these. This is another piece of my undersea that I should probably stop buying now. Yeah, I won't go into that too much detail again, but they kind of stack like that. Look very nice. And here's a rock piece, a lerp, but this one has got some nice fish stickers on. So we seem to have two clownfish, one with some coral on there. So I might be able to move those to slightly better locations using my patented hot tea technique. Or maybe I'll just leave them where they are, because it's not too bad, to be honest. So that is from 6558, Shark Cage Cove from 1997, which is a Town Divers set. And it has three very hungry looking sharks as part of that, but yeah, I will use that obviously in my undersea area as well, so that's very nice. And then talking of undersea, I've got loads of pink trans ones of those, and sometimes these pieces are really good when you've got a great number of them, because you can do something a bit more bold with them. And I was figuring with these ones, I might have to stack them and make sort of very tall, bright corals coming off at sort of weird jaunty angles, kind of like an undersea tree. And I think that you can already see is going to work really well. And you might even be able to cheat a little and just sort of disconnect them a little bit and sort of give them a bit of a bend like that. So it'll make them a bit more fragile, but then you can have them all sort of coming off at different angles in a big clump. So I think they'll be really good for that. So absolutely loads of those. Here is some generic bricks. Now there will be quite a few generic bricks because obviously we don't have all sort of very interesting pieces to do all these builds. Some of them will just need bits to fill in all the gaps. But this person had some very keenly priced generic bricks really. So for rock faces, wherever I've seen, especially these in old dark grey and these ones here in old light grey, I've bought them. Because they're just a really good contrast. You can see there to say new dark grey, for example. They're all different shades. So when you've got a rock face made up of different bricks of all these slightly different shades of grey, it really looks a lot better than having kind of a uniform wall. And in fact, that's true of this as well, because that's old dark grey as well. So you can see that contrast works really well when all together. Without even trying, I made quite a good looking rock face, so that's good. And then we can actually add some dark green little slopes into that sort of arrangement as well, just to get the odd bit of sort of slime or plant life that's too small to see on its own. So you can kind of see that blends in as well. So yeah, these rock slopes are building themselves, but otherwise some relatively generic bricks in there. Some modified plates, including quite a few of those, which I think will be going for my train carriages. I can't remember the other bits, they're not too specific. Then we've got lots more of these. Golly, I did buy a lot of these to help me support my fairground area. I think I will need them. And you might think it's a lot of money to spend, but really these are a few pennies each, so it's probably £1 for all of these support pieces, and they just make my life so much easier, and it makes when I lift it all off to sort of get at the working, should something go wrong, then it'll make it a lot easier to fix. And in the same vein, I've bought lots more big bricks here. Oh, if I can get in this bag. There we go. Where I've got some of these 3 tall 2x2 bricks. And indeed, that one's got a sticker on. I don't think he charged me for that, but I might be able to save that and use that somewhere else as well, using my, yep, you guessed it, patented hot tea technique. Cool. Don't know if any of the others have got stickers on. Almost feel like checking them all now. Nope. And those green bricks, I think for my supermarket actually, can't really remember, but that would fit with the colour scheme. That's not giving too much away, I don't think. Some more pretty generic bricks in white. I think those are for walls of a build. Those I think are going to be for tables. And this is kind of a quarter, what would you call that? Quarter dome piece in magenta or dark pink. Now these got interesting. White ship windscreens, as I sort of think of them. Let me join them together so I'll make a really big one. And these are on quite a few city sets, but I always think of them as being part of that ferry, 60119 from 2016. And, well, I could use these on the front of a building. They were kind of used on the corner garage in sand blue, I think it was, wasn't it? As a sort of bay window like that, several of them. Or was it a different combination of windows? Anyway, same sort of effect. And these have been used in creator sets to make sort of a bay window in something, but it could also be a skylight or something like that. So yeah, good to have those. Next bag. I've got some inverted slopes in white, some plates in dark bluish grey and black. So they're obviously for all sorts of builds. Nothing crazy exciting there. Another bag of grey bits and bobs, largely. Different slopes and pieces. Some of those sort of curved slopes. They look very nice in white. Some brown bricks. All of these are quite dirty, dusty at least, so they'll definitely all need washing, but that's no surprise because I wash all my used pieces. 2x2 plates in light and dark grey. I'm always burning through those, just supporting bits of street furniture in my streets and so on. Lots of modified bricks. these largely in grey. I can't remember what these are all for, this number anyway. I know some were for my supermarket, and we've got some old grey bricks. My golly, that one looks horrendously sun damaged, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a disgusting grey it is. Let's see, where's the other pieces of that colour? No, it probably is the right colour, but you can see how that's going to stand out against normal grey. I'm really glad they changed them. That is just a horrid colour. But anyway, it looks incredibly badly sun damaged. But that will make my cliffs better, as I said. Yeah, so not so interesting there. But here is an interesting piece. This wonderful panel. Now, these panels were usually used in junior sets, but this one is from a Jack Stone set, 4620 AIR Operations HQ from 2002, which is a pretty horrid set, like most of the Jack Stone ones, but it does have a very cool radar dish on the top of that. It's kind of made of 2 printed pieces. That's definitely gone on my wanted list when I noticed that, because yeah, it's really quite a good piece. Also in this same trans medium blue colour, this does fluoresce actually, but not that I'll be using it for fluorescing in this sort of setting, but it is a very nice different colour. And it's very similar to the ones that I used on my fast food corner, the fast food shop in that. Now I do have one of these pieces already, and basically I got a really good idea for using that the last time I did, which was many hauls ago, and I haven't forgotten that idea, but I'm going to make it slightly bigger than I had originally planned, so I need a second one essentially. So I'm going to have 2 of these side by side, and they're going to make a particular building, which was a suggestion. So you'll have to wait for your bedoying if that was you. But it will be coming, well, probably not too soon, actually, given all of the things we've got in train. Here's a bag of brown 2x2 round bricks. And for me, a very new container piece. I mean, we've all probably seen these before, but I've never had one in black before. It's been in a few sets, but yeah, I just thought I'd pick one up in black. Don't know where I'm going to use it yet, but there we go. Oh, now this is interesting. And wow, they're massive. I didn't realise they were that big. So these are 2 wing pieces. Wow, they're big. I thought they were about that long, but they're like literally double the size. Oh, and there's 3 of them. I thought there were 2. That's weird as well. So anyway, these are from a Ben 10 set, a kind of large character called Big Chill 8519, who's kind of a evil butterfly with claws, who looked very sort of scratchy. And he had one pair of these, well, or rather 2 pairs, depending how you look at it, on his back, kind of like that, making him look like that evil butterfly. And I thought these looked very plant-like, actually. So the fact I've got 3 probably is better. You could have them sort of at slight angles to sort of make a clump. I don't know. Does that look like plant life? Yeah, maybe. Down, up, sideways. I think probably up like that. That could look quite organic. I don't know, especially if they're at slightly different angles. But that's something I thought I'd experiment with my undersea area. But I do actually like those. Slightly different, darker colour. So maybe it goes sort of deeper in the depths of my undersea. But yeah, like that. I'll put those at the back. More grey bricks. How very exciting and colourful. So we've got some ones with the slats on. They look like they're in old grey just because they're so sort of dingy coloured. Some of those ones, modified bricks, and quite a lot of these baskets in this fiery yellowish orange. And I'm going to be using these as my shopping baskets in my supermarket. There aren't many sort of different ways you can do that. You could do a sort of brick built one, but I don't think they look very good. So I'm just going to use some sort of old fashioned baskets that you pick up at the door, use for your shop, and then go to the checkout. So have a few of those the same colour. That's that bag. More stuff, kind of glass pieces. So we have got 3 more of these yellow kind of panel pieces that I'm thinking I'll use underwater. Well, quite obviously really because of the sort of porthole type look. And these might form sort of a large underwater corridor or something like that. You can make it 2-sided or just a bit to sort of join 2 underwater stations together or something. And they were on a few sets, like 6560 Diving Expedition Explorer from 1997. And that's a very nice looking set. I love the backdrops for both the sea sort of area and the sky in those pictures. I could do with some sort of backdrops like that, I think. So there's 3 of those. I've probably got about 8 of those. So if we have a double-sided corridor, we've probably got it about that long. If we go for a single side sort of into a rock, then we might have about that long. So probably still need more of those. And I got one of these windscreens that's kind of set back by 2 studs, so I could experiment with changing the roof of that new taxi that's as part of the 76178 Daily Bugle set that we went through last time, just because I really don't like the roof of that. And if I'm going to try the 6x4 sort of roof panel, then I'm going to need to bring in the roof, so to speak, by a stud. So I need one of these shallower sloped windscreen pieces. So I'm going to try that. So that was pennies. Well worth the experiment. Some more dark green pieces. So there's lots and lots of 1x1 bricks to fill in gaps under the sea, or maybe to go into a build that needs dark green bricks, and lots of grey ones as well. A spool for a crane. I think I accidentally got 2 of these, because didn't I get one of these in my bricks and pieces order? And here I've got another one. So I only needed 1, but maybe I'll need another spool at some point. Yeah, maybe I've got a ship that's sort of lowering something into the water or something like that, because I've used, or will be using, the other one as a crane in my harbour area. And 1 modified brick in purple. Some more dark green. So some build coming up is in dark green, clearly. They're just some tiles, 1x4. And I got one of these very bright looking dish pieces for probably an umbrella for maybe a food concession at the fairground, or maybe just somebody sunning themselves on the beach or something like that. This has been in several Friends sets, but also the Batman set 76013, the Joker Steamroller, where it's on the back wheels. And that's a pretty fun set from 2014. So yeah, look forward to using that one. That's new to me. I think I've got another dish piece somewhere. Let's see if I can find that. Nope. But hopefully I haven't tipped out already. Here's another bag with some aerial pieces. 4 of those. I'm going to use those for lots of flags around the fairground. Panel in lime. That's for my supermarket, I think. Chair in green. I think that's for my supermarket. More seats in brown. I think that might be for my train carriages. Some panels, and a tile. Here's some interesting bits. These look like large figure pieces rather, and barnacle and all sorts of stuff like that. So let's spend some time going through these. So first of all, the weapons. So these are some barnacle weapons, which are kind of circular saws. I think they look rather mean and nasty, so that's why I got them. And I don't know if I want to use them sort of joined together to make 2-sided ones, or have them maybe as the 2 different arms of, I thought of a sort of undersea sub or something like that, submarine. Anyway, so these are part of the set 8755, Ki Tongu from 2005. And they're very interesting names on these barnacle sets. I think Ki Tongu sounds a bit like an exotic holiday destination, but anyway, so they'll be good to choose from, because another choice is, and maybe I'll mix and match, is these kind of really vicious claw-looking pieces. Maybe they could go in a pair or even be part of a nasty crane, but I've kind of had pieces like that before and still not used them, so I can't help myself. But these are from 8576, Levac Cal from 2003. And I suppose that one sounds more like some sort of, I don't know, Lebanese dish or something like that. Have you tried the Levac Cal? It is delicious. So that's quite fun. Yeah, but they look really sort of sharp, pointy, and a bit nasty. So I like those. There's a brick in there. And then there's this huge leg. Wow, look at that. So this is actually from a Galador set. So I've actually managed to get another line of Lego into my city. This is from a set from 2002 called Uni 8318. Goodness knows what that sounds like. And what on earth is that set? I mean, he looks horrible. But oh, look at that head. I've got to get that head, haven't I? I bet that's very rare, but I do like that indeed. So, yeah, what am I going to use 1 foot for? Well, I kind of thought, yep, you guessed it, that it looked very organic and just in a different direction, kind of like, I don't know, that or something like that. It might look like an undersea plant. And I think it does, if you kind of squint and use your imagination. It's a bit smooth on the underside, so I'd have to have that kind of pointing away. And maybe I could attach something else onto it. That may prove difficult, I don't know. But all these sort of ridges and so on definitely make it look quite organic. So, yeah, anyway, that was my thought behind it. It wasn't very expensive, so I thought I'd give it a try in a nice dark red colour. Good, good. Right, some more dinosaur tails in lime and one in the glow-in-the-dark colour. So that's useful. A couple of telescopes in gold. A red telephone sort of handset bit. Might be useful somewhere. Oh, some rock panels. So I still probably need loads of these for my undersea. And when I see these ones, I probably can't resist them because they've got this nice sort of bit of green on for some plant life, as well as the sort of more shiny side. And you can use them inside out as well to represent some sort of dark, dingy cave or something like that, or a combination, kind of like that. So they're really nice. And they're available from 3 different Knights Kingdom 2 sets. My favourite of which is 8822 Gargoyle Bridge from 2006. Which is a great, cool looking set, I must say. Got some huge, massive axes to bash invaders with, gargoyle heads on the ends there, and even a really cool battering ram head, which I really like. I haven't got any of those pieces, but I'd be interested in pretty much all of them. But yeah, they're nice. And you really can't tell that this is kind of pearl shiny when it's in amongst everything else, rather. So put those back there. What do we got here? Pretty mixed bag. I need a bit of space to tip this sort of thing out. Here we go. So there's an interesting piece. We've got a 2x2 slope with these kind of slats on. Now that was part of 3 sets, including 6590 Vacation Camper from 1988, where it was on front of that caravan. And that's exactly how I'm going to use it, I think, because I've kind of rebuilt-ish that caravan to house one of the motors in my fairground. So I think I'll just replace my normal 2x2 slope with this one in homage to that set. So that's very nice to have. What else we got in here? Just random bits. Oh, there's a white one. Oh, though to say that's faded is kind of understating the case. That is very yellowed indeed. So technically I could try and whiten that with peroxide and it might brighten up a little bit with just a wash. Let me use the old lick method. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work a great deal. I don't know if that's really changed anything. So yeah, I might not use that. Though if I use it in a setting where only kind of that face is visible, then it won't be so bad actually. And sometimes it's good to have faded bricks, like on that shunter train, for example, where it was supposed to be representing something very old. So yeah, I kind of like that. That's not too bad. I don't think it's very expensive. And some very small pieces in this little bag. We have another mobile phone. I'm not collecting these, but I seem to have been buying a lot of them recently. But this is the one that says awesome on it, and that's because it was from the Emmett. What was it? The Awesome Remix Emmett Lego Movie 2 series minifigure. So that one's pretty cool. Kind of like that. Didn't have that before. Got a few heads here. Only 2 different ones. There are 4, but they were both used in racer sets where I think he was the Red Scorpion and he was the Yellow Tiger Racer. Also in other sets as well, but I think I've got 3 of this one with a sort of, heavy brow. I thought he might be really good in my fairground as one of the people running rides. In fact, they both would really, wouldn't they? They all look a bit sort of shifty. Not that I'm trying to make all my fairground people shifty, but then I did say it was going to be a criminal enterprise. Then I've got this lime sort of cycle hat many times, but always on the Series 10 Skydiver that it comes from. So I figured I'd just get one more for a cyclist or a skateboarder in my city, just to mix things up there, or maybe even for my skateboard shop. Oh, I didn't cover these, did I? So these are also from Big Figures, and they sort of start off lime, and go through a sort of blend to white. So they're very interesting. And these pieces kind of went behind the mask of Barnacle figures. So you'd kind of see different colours through the sort of gaps for the eyes and the mouth, kind of like a sort of colours coming through a Batman cowl. And they'd be on 6 different Inika Toa sets, like 8728 Inika Toa Hartley from 2006. I've probably ruined the pronunciation of that, but who knows? So yeah, that again is going to be undersea life. And imagine you put 2 of them together, say like that. Might be quite hard to get them at that angle, but if you did, it might look kind of organic. I don't know. It's quite fun, isn't it? It almost looks like sort of slimy rocks or some sort of almost like a fungus, really. But anyway, so they look quite good fun. 2 skateboards. Oh yes, for the collection. Now, the first one looks pretty bad in a way. I mean, I should be able to repair that to a significant degree using my patented hot tea technique, but it is quite dirty. Now, it might be that I just cut out the sort of clear bits in between the main important bits of the stickers that have got a lot of dust and dirt trapped under them. But anyway, this one came from the Skateboard Challenge set, 6738. And it's quite hard to collect the skateboards from that set just because there were 6 stickers on that sticker sheet for these sort of tops of skateboards, and they gave you 3 different skateboard colours. And although they did certain combinations in the instructions of this, of which this was actually one of them, kind of the official combinations, you were encouraged to kind of put any of those 6 on any of the 3 different coloured boards. So technically, there's 18 different combinations of those, which makes collecting them exhausting. So I might just go for one of each of the stickers, to be honest. But anyway, that's really nice to have. One I haven't had before for my collection. I'll put that on top of the heap. And then there's this one, which is quite obviously a Spider-Man kind of skateboard, but it's a bit odd, really. Now, it came from set 4853, Spider-Man Street Chase from 2004, where there was one baddie on a trike and another baddie on this skateboard. That's what makes it confusing to me, because if Spider-Man was sort of flying along kind of on his web streams and all the rest of it, then why was a baddie using a Spider-Man themed skateboard to make his escape? I'm sure he didn't steal it from Spider-Man, so that just makes it a bit odd. But anyway, I like it for my collection. That's lifting a little bit of this side, isn't it, with dirt underneath. I'll have to try and clean the back of that. If you want any help with doing that sort of things, do check out my tutorial video where I go through lots of different ways of repairing or moving or mending Lego stickers that have got some sort of damage. So that shouldn't be too tricky for me. Right, we're making good progress. Another bag of modified bricks, these in a normal grey, slopes in dark grey, and ladder pieces in dark grey. Always like to have those for train builds, and 1x3 plates, so a bit of a waterfall there of pieces. Some more lerps, this time plain and in normal dark grey. Black plate. I think that's for my water tender, part of my train build, obviously for the Flying Knotsman. Getting all right, mountain of bags. Lots of plates in dark tan, largely. Tip them over there. And one white one, not so interesting. Here's that other dish piece. So this one, I'm not sure I even like, because it kind of looks very sun-faded, even though it isn't. It wasn't bright red at one point. It was always this sort of faded pink colour and faded lime green. And that's because it came in lots of different Paradisa sets, including Dolphin Point 6414 from 1995. And again, I just bought it for another sort of concession or maybe sun umbrella on the beach, just to have them all a bit different. So there's that. 2 more interesting pieces in this bag, though. First of all, we've got some stock for my supermarket. So this is some dog food with a bit of a horrible graphic, if you ask me. That's from a friend's set. But, you know, they would sell products in my supermarket with horrible graphics, so that kind of makes it realistic. And that's from 41085, Animal Care Clinic from 2015. So, yeah, good to have that. And then this is another stickered piece. It's not too badly damaged. I think that's just muck, or maybe I can even just clip off that corner on a 1x4 to represent an old sort of stereo with tape deck. And that is from 4165, Minnie's Birthday Party from 2000. So another Disney set. And who knew Mickey Mouse played the tuba? I didn't know that. I always had him down as kind of more of a banjo or kind of guitar type kind of a guy. But anyway, it's a bit it's a bit of a rubbish stereo really, but I kind of liked it. Or I could even use that phone as a kind of a stereo handle. Oh, except that's 3 long, not 4 long. But anyway, yeah, quite like that. Quite like that. So I'll put that there so we can see it. More grey bricks to fill in gaps on cliff faces. And I think I've got all sorts of different greys here. I've got new dark grey, new light grey, or is this all old? Oh no, there's an old light grey. So you can see all the differences there. So that's looking pretty good. So in fact, is that old? Yeah, there. I've got all 4 different greys together. Show that there. So we've got the old one on the top and the bottom. Yeah, that's a great combination, isn't it? So we'll have bits of those peeking through all of our rock faces. I'm getting a bit apprehensive about how many rock pieces I'm going to need for my undersea area. That's why I've been stocking up on these, because this guy had them for really quite keen prices. So we'll see those come into use before too long, hopefully. Lots of very small plates for assorted builds in white and dark green. And the final bag, ooh, quite an interesting one actually. I've got 2 quite large windscreen pieces, so let's have a look at them. So they've got this printing on, this kind of white cockpit sort of style printing with kind of vents on, and that's a very good condition one. And that one's slightly more scratched up, if I'm honest, but still not too bad. And these are for something that I'm going to experiment with. They came from a Life on Mars set, 7315, which is called Solar Explorer from 2001, which is quite an interesting set actually. It's got a very large sort of plastic solar panel in the middle of that ship, which is actually a kind of plastic film piece, kind of like these wings, that's sort of bent over and acts as a big solar panel on that. So that's a very novel build. So these windscreens are unique to that set. I think there's a similar shaped piece with a different print on that was one of the many Millennium Falcons that have been made over the years, but I wanted a pair of these to kind of have something with twin cockpits it's a bit of an experiment. So I bought the most vital piece to do it, and if it works I'll show you all and do the rest of the build as well, but I thought I'd experiment with these 2, so you can guess what that is if you want, but I doubt you'll get it. But yeah, they look really good, and I think they look really good side by side. I think the white printing being in good quality really makes a lot of difference, so that's very nice. They are very slightly different. It's almost like that one's aligned and that one's slightly off, like it had 2 prints and these are kind of overlapped quite a bit on that one, and they were much better aligned on that one. But I don't think you'll really notice from any distance at all. So yeah, really good. So what a wonderful and very diverse selection of bricks we have here. An absolute mountain of pieces, which largely are to do rock faces and things like that. But we've got some really interesting things, whether they be from Barnacle or Life on Mars or Ben 10 or Galador or what was that? That was Juniors, wasn't it? No, Jack Stone, Ninjago, absolutely everything covered here, I think. City. So yeah, lots of things for lots of really interesting builds. Well, there's so many pieces in this haul that it looks like poor little Robin is pretty much drowning in the middle there, but I'm sure he'll be all right. He might even need a wash after this haul, just because he's touched so many dirty pieces, and that'll keep me busy for a while, I'm sure, as well. But as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. Do also remember to send me something if you want to see it on Brick Haul 100, when it'll be featuring just your offerings. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. do remember to check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing another Fairground Friday, trying to push on in the marathon that is completing that Fairground build, because we'll be taking a break next week. Oh no! Yeah, next week there will be no videos at all, just because I will be taking Mrs. Hood on holiday. We aren't going anywhere exotic this year, just to Wales to enjoy that for a week because of obvious reasons with the world pandemic and so on. Anyway, until Friday, see you!